Welcome back to Mr. Smith Garage. It has been several weeks since we've done a video, so I'm going to attempt to do a quick video today working on Jill, the 82 air-cooled Vanagon. California emissions, I think we've mentioned that before. One of the things about California emissions air-cooled Vanagon, can't see it too well up here, but this is where I parked last, and that is, see all the things going on in the garage there. That is primarily because of this. So what you see going on up here is the catalytic converter is very, very close to where the valves are. This gets super hot. In fact, I just started it to move it into the garage, and it's already at least 100 degrees. So we're going to take this off. That way we can access the valve covers to change the valve cover gaskets, which I have two fresh ones right there, so that I hopefully won't continue to get the amount of leaking that I'm getting. As you can see, it's not the easiest place to get everything off of here, but it can be done from different angles. This is a two-handed job. Trying not to block it. And I'm trying not to get the light in there. I did put anti-seize on the nuts, which hopefully is helping me a little bit here. Okay. So far, we've just loosened 2 of the 6 that we need to do. Okay, before we get too far along, I'll show you where that other nut and bolt is right here. There's the valve cover to get to that gasket. That's why it's easier to change this one by just taking the catalytic converter off, as long as yours isn't rusty. There's one of the other nuts that I need to get to. Oh, right on here on top. Okay, that last one is way in the back there. Let's see, it's right up here, backside there. That doesn't seem to be bolted on anymore. Huh. Quite surprised that fell out. Okay. I'm going to go from the other side now. Get those two bolts out. Okay, so look at that access now to change that. Makes it so much easier to be able to clip this off. What I had been doing is changing it, clipping it on, and then trying to force this back over the aluminum there, but over time it's just going to wear out and wear down. So anyway, this will be hopefully the easier way to do this change. I didn't show you that, but basically you just pull that down and the valve cover comes off. I can tell that there is just a little bit of shrinkage on that valve cover. You can see. And so that's what happens. It gets hot, gets dried out, and there's some shrinkage. I do need to clean this up a little bit. So that it won't leak next time. I'm going to get my Dremel, do a little cleaning around this. Otherwise everything's looking good. Don't have anything that looks like it's out of sorts there, but I do want to Dremel and clean around that just a little bit. I will say one thing about Dremel. One-handed control is a little difficult. I'm going to get a razor blade because I still see some thickness on there that I want to get off. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. So the tricky part of getting the new one on there is making sure you get it in the right spot. The other thing would be advantageous would be to have it up on a lift. Having this up on a lift would make it a whole lot easier. I'll get this really clean. I have seen some people recently talking about using silicone, but I have not tried silicone here, like high heat silicone. So you can see we just got that basically in there where we want it. I've heard different things from different people. There is here, let me get you up there a little bit. There is a Volkswagen symbol in here, and I have heard from some people that you want to have the VW symbol upside down. You know, this one's got a pry over here that I don't think once it's squeezed in there that should create any problems. It's got a little steel hole over there. This one is fitting in there really nicely. You can see it's just a little shy on the corners, but should go in nicely. should do it. I always give it a little push up. Make sure that it's got a good contact. And then we'll put the catalytic converter back on. And that's how you do California emissions air-cooled Vanagon. Thanks for joining Mr. Smith Garage. Short video. Thanks for joining me. Well, I wasn't going to film this other side because the passenger side on this air-cooled model is usually pretty easy to take off and replace. But here's what I found. So I just took it off and look at that. It's actually broken. Same spot. The cork. Shrunken also. I think you can see that. It's a little shrunk, but it's also broken right in half. Crazy. So I wanted to at least show you that. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Smith Garage. Subscribe, like. Let's keep growing the channel. I tend to work on whatever comes my way. Just so happen I got this Eurovan to work on. This is my current state. I'm waiting for parts. I got it apart. I'm basically replacing the timing chain and tensioner and guides. Did a little cleaning on it. I'm gonna redo the gaskets. Show you a little bit about. There's the Porsche. Porsche seems to be running just fine right now, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But you can see a lot going on in here. This was pretty daunting. You know, as many wires and stuff that attach to this engine. You have to remove the transmission from the block to be able to do that timing chain. Trying to keep the air conditioning all sealed so I don't have to recharge it. It does have a pretty good crack in the windshield. So this is Lars. It's a 2002 Eurovan VR6 24 valve. Here are all the parts. This is Jack, the 81 air-cooled Vanagon Westphalia that we're working on redoing. Here's the inside of Lars' valve cover. You could see they were very regular at changing their oil. Not. Yeah, so got some cleaning to do on Lars. Once again, on these air-cooled models, the valve cover gaskets are cork. They get very hot in the summer especially, and this one actually cracked. That might be why I've got so much oil seeping out on my sidewalk. So thanks again for joining Mr. Smith Garage. We love to have you join us. Come back for the next video.